We are in game one of round four. Obviously, this one land hand is not going to be a keep. This hand is keepable, especially on the play. It doesn't have acceleration. It does have multiple enchantresses, obviously, as well as a paladin class and an abundant growth to cycle. Because we've made this mana base switch where this isn't a prismatic vista, it's a other green fetch to help with the tertiary colors. Leading on Paladin class isn't especially strong because that does walk into Wasteland, so we'll probably just lead with a Abundant Growth and get rid of one of the Sithuses. Oh, no, okay, we'll get rid of the Paladin class. I suppose for similar reasons. It doesn't quite fit into the curve right now. Okay, turn one Chalice. This at this point in the metagame, that usually means either mono red or 8 cast. It could be Curse Stompy. Our hand doesn't actually have any 1 drops, but we drew another 3 drop. We need land or things to start cycling so that we can find a Destiny Spinner or a Cast Out to deal with this Chalice. Okay, so it's 8 cast, but they're running Karn, the Grey Crater, which is unusual. And they had a turn, so they had turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 KGC, and Liquid Metal Coating. So that's a very strong start. They also have a Saga, so we're probably looking at Mycosynth Lattice in 2 turns. Commune was a terrible draw. We really need to find our land drop. Okay, that's a start. It's forced, not a huge deal. It does mean that we can't pressure the Karn, which is probably why they did that. We need to draw a land in Gloomshrieker now. Okay, Spinner would have been a good draw if we had also found a land, but I think they just have it now. Yeah, they have Lattice. And a creature to protect it as well. So yeah, very fast start from the opponent with a lot of disruption as well as forced backup. So on the, we were on the play, but even so, without acceleration, you're not going to beat a hand this good, especially game 1. We do have a strong sideboard. Let's go to game 2. Against any kind of Chalice deck, I will take the Communes out immediately. We already have a lot of 1-drops, but our other 1-drops can be forced through with Destiny Spinner, and Commune can't. The Lone Carved Flowers is obviously a dead card. Well, it's not a completely dead card here. They do run a couple of islands, but it's just not reliable, so I'm not going to try to trust it. Miri's Guile is so we're still trying to play around Chalice, and I really don't want my turn 1 play to be Miri's Guile. I want it to be Acceleration. So that can go, and then 1 Sithis. Just because I value the removal more, so we brought in all 3 touch, as well as the Tropical Island and the 2 energy fluxes. This card is just an absolute banner against any kind of, against any kind of artifact deck, but that field has sort of winnowed down to 8 cast from the various other artifact decks that have been played in the immediate aftermath of MH2. I guess some painter decks as well. This hand has 6 lands and 1 actual card, but that card is Energy Flux, so I will keep it and just hope to not draw lands. And hope that they don't have Force of Will. I will not put blue into their mind. I'll just lead on white. White's also just generally going to be more use. A lot of the time blue's just going to kill this mana. That's an okay draw. Okay, they didn't have the Force. Fantastic. Yeah, so, I mean, we don't have anything going on, but we have Energy Flux, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. Our draws weren't amazing, but they weren't land at least. So these will be relevant at some point, most likely. I just went ahead and fetched our 4th color there in the face of a potential Pithing Needle. I mean, I guess we do have the Flux, but... So, we do take a big hit here. I would have cast out the Construct if they had equipped it, But without that, I'm willing to just take the damage, use our life total as a resource here, hold on to the cast out, which is our only actual business spell in hand at the moment, for something that is more dangerous through an energy flux. Like, this is big right now, but next turn that's 4 upkeeps, so it's not going to stay this big for long. Not an amazing draw. So they got to keep 2 things because they have the Lotus Petal, so they have 4 mana. So they'll keep a land and the construct. They're also having to pay a lot for this with Ancient Tomb, although, you know, things would also be worse for them if they hadn't have had the Soul Land. So, or if that had been City of Traders. I don't think they're running City, actually. So, Punish, I was starting to think, like, I wasn't comfortable with our life total if we take this hit. And, you know, we're immediately punished by them playing a card that doesn't need to pay energy flux upkeep. So we would like to draw a business. There it is. And Karakas is obviously a great pickup as well here. Alright. And the second energy flux should be game over. We're going to dismember. We can save her with Karakas. They're at 10 life between Dismember, Ancient Tomb. I mean, this game's over. I'm not going to take any risks, though. I'm going to just play out my cards and set myself up, gain some life. I think that's actually just a lethal attack, yeah, because we could just pump the Paladin. Actually, I don't think we even needed to do that. We could have just pumped the Paladin classes. They're more than dead. Alright. On the draw, I took out 1 additional Paladin class for the Sithis to come back in. I'm just more concerned about Chalice on the draw than I'm on the play. There is an argument as well for Doomwake Giant, I forgot to mention, just because of the Thopter tokens, but a lot of them are cutting down on size in favor of Kappa Cannoneer. So for that reason, I decided not to bring in the Doomwakes. Plus we have a lot of other cards. And the Energy Flux can also sweep up a lot of Thopters. So this hand has obviously a ton of mana again. It does have a removal spell if they don't have Chalice, and it has Karakas for their best opener, which is Emry. So I will keep and just hope that those are the cards that they're going to be playing. Having turn 1 acceleration is something that's nice, but I'm not going to mull for it because of Chalice. I will lead on it, though, in the face of an Engineered Explosives at 1. I don't especially care about that. Okay, so they had turn 2 Karn, which is kind of the worst case scenario. We need to draw something. Okay, we do. We find Sithis. Luckily this time, though, they don't have Karn plus lots of renewable mana. They had to use double Opal. They had to use a Mox Opal that they had to treat like a Lotus Petal and a Lotus Petal, and now they don't actually have the 3rd artifact for Metalcraft. So the fact that they had to expend so much mana on this Karn, so many resources, and that's currently putting them behind means that we have a chance here, despite them having to turn 2 Karn. And yeah, let's see what we got. Okay, Sithis. I'm going to go ahead and use On Thin Ice on her first, just to draw the cards, because I want to make use of this, and I want them to think that it's worth it for them to blow their explosives. Use those resources, which means they're even further from Metalcraft. This still shuts it down a turn, which is really, I'm just trying to buy time here and draw more cards. And then they can spend the time and resources doing that, and then we'll, you know, play our Karakas. I might have wanted to hold the land drop, though. because if they did force that, we did want to get rid of the Emry. Okay, now we have Spinner and Sythis, and we get to kill Karn here. Alright, and okay, they play a liquid metal coating. That does get them closer to Metalcraft, but we get to go off here. Paladin class also, because they don't have Metalcraft, ensures that they can't force our energy flux that we drew into. We don't have the mana for it now, but next turn, okay, so they are playing City of Traders, and they do now, I think normal ACAST lists aren't playing City of Traders, but if you're running Karn, that makes sense that you would run that. So they scoop to the energy flux, which is uncounterable because of the Destiny Spinner. I forgot about that. The sideboard in this matchup really helped a lot. The energy fluxes are just, again, they're just probably the best card you can be playing against ACAST, in my opinion.